Hello everyone, my name is Julia. I will be talking about presenting the impact of social media, kind of where it was at before compared to now, and how social media can affect our potential employment opportunities. So kind of from the start, social media, one of the main platforms, Facebook, was created in 2004. And definitely when it first started, it was not as advanced as it is now, obviously. But it was more of a way to connect kind of strictly with friends and family. There wasn't really too many advertisements, commenting on people's photos, just wanting to show your lives to people that you knew. Wasn't really a thing to add strangers and stuff like that, but that has definitely changed over the course of the last, decade. Social media now is definitely for the other people's view. So anything you post, you kind of think of what other people view it as, which definitely impacts our lives and how we want to be seen on social media, how we want other people to see us on social media. It's still a way to connect with people, again, like locally or now all over the world, since it is easier to follow people, add people on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Um, but it's also a way of accessing a lot of information, whether that be about other people or companies. Um, I feel that it definitely benefits companies more now since they have a way of showing their products, um, posting about their company, and now they can be reached by millions of people all over the world, whereas before they had to print out advertisements or have a small advertisement on some random website on the internet when it was a thing, when it just started being a thing. And then TV too was also where a lot of advertisements were put instead of paper. But now I feel social media is mostly advertisements. And I think that's a big change because now when we go on social media, whether that be any of the platforms, Facebook, Twitter, not so much, Instagram, definitely. There's just so many advertisements. We think that we need those things when we see other people displaying those things all the time. Now that jobs are created for social media, so modeling, influencers, um, they are always advertising to get income. So now that affects us because anyone that we follow, if they are influencers or celebrities, they're always posting advertisements. So we think that because they have those things, and we know they have those things because we can see them all the time now, that we want those things. And we end up finding more companies this way, spending more money this way. And I feel like it's definitely impacted our lives negatively for the fact of there just being so many advertisements. And I mean, you can have willpower, but when you see these things all the time, you kind of want them more. But in a different sense, since that works for some people who can have their jobs on social media, like the modeling or influencers, or even if you are in marketing or advertisements, like that's your job. So you want to display that you know how to use all social media, that you can engage new customers, and the way that you show your social media would also display that. So if you're applying to companies for this and they see your social media, then they would know that you know what you're doing. And if you have a lot of followers, they would also want that. But then the negative side is for jobs that you need to censor your social media. So any job that works with a vulnerable population, that could be teachers, social workers, jobs like that where you either don't really want social media or you really need to filter what you put on there and kind of make all your things private, um, because this can impact your job. If you post something negative or your employer sees that you commented something on someone else's post that doesn't reflect their values, people lose their jobs now. I think that social media is a good way to get a job since there is LinkedIn and Indeed, companies like that, where it's easier to find jobs now. Again, as before, um, you had to look through newspapers. It was harder to find a job. But now, since it's so much easier, there's the pros and cons. So it's easier to find a job, but now it's easier for companies to see what you post online, and this can affect whether they hire you or not now. Um, but yeah, all of those things um, are something to think about. Um, the impact of social media, I believe, has gone from a way of connecting to a way of just advertisements to me. Not everyone feels like that, but that's just what I believe. Also, yeah, the again, pros and cons of social media, whether it's aiding your job or can negatively affect your job. Yeah, but that's all I have for that. Thanks for listening and have a good day.